Freedom Marchers, good afternoon. Freedom Marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, freedom fighters. It's your boy Snaps the Gorilla, aka The Definition, coming at y'all with a quick live stream. I wanted to talk about this this white on white crime going on in Eastern Europe / Russia, between Russia and Ukraine. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how Ukraine is using long-range weapons provided to them by our own government to strike within the country of Russia, and how Russia, or Vladimir Putin, is actually talking about lowering the basically lowering the threshold by which he would launch a nuclear strike against the West. He said the West. Who's the West? Right? Who is the West? Who is the West? The West, that could be anybody. That could be any country that Putin sees as a threat. And assuredly, he sees the United States as a threat, seeing as how we are allowing Ukraine to launch long-range missiles into their country, right? He actually mentioned the United States and saying that this was a direct, it was a direct, basically saying that the United States might as well have launched the missiles our goddamn selves, right? He's taking this as a declaration of war against his country by the United States. Queen Shaquilla, Queen Sunshine, how y'all doing? Salute to y'all in the chat. Thank y'all for hitting that like button when y'all came in here. Oh, the queens are always showing up. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, he basically said the United States has declared war against Russia, and you know, now he's threatening to use nuclear weapons. I mean, listen, you guys remember? I don't even think I wasn't even born yet, but there was a thing known as the the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? There was the Cuban Missile, Queen Marcy T, how you doing? What is good? How y'all doing? That mic was good. Oh, come on, man. I'm always gonna show love to the ladies. You know what I mean? But anyway, but salute to Dead Mike as well. Listen, y'all remember the Cuban Missile Crisis? When Russia was taking missiles into Cuba and threatening to launch missiles against the United States? That was pretty intense, right? Well, since then, a lot has changed, right? Since then, a lot has changed. They no longer need to set up shop in Russia to hit us with nuclear weapons, right? Now, do I believe that Russia's actually going to launch nuclear missiles against the United States? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that because of mutually assured destruction. Because as soon as they launch something, we would know, and we would then launch our own missiles, right? We would launch our own nuclear missiles into Russia, right? They don't really want that. But do I think that they believe they could get away with hitting Ukraine with a nuclear weapon? They might think they can get away with it. They might drop some low yield shit into Ukraine, you know, and see what happens. You know, that might be a thing. Now, what would our response be? Right? Let's say, okay, so Putin allowed his military to respond with nuclear weapons in certain cases. And I could see him waiting until January, maybe January 21st. I could see him waiting until January 21st or after to maybe drop a low yield nuke in Ukraine and see what happens, right? At that point, Donald Trump would be in office. And would Donald Trump send troops over there, or would he then retaliate against Russia for Ukraine? I don't know. I don't know, but I do know that if that happened, plenty of people within government that is not Donald Trump would definitely try to encourage Trump to do such a thing, right? To retaliate in some form or fashion. We wouldn't retaliate with nuclear weapons ourselves because that would be retarded, right? That would be the end of the world. Just so y'all know, that's nuclear apocalypse. If they drop some low yield shit into Ukraine and we responded by hitting Russia with some shit, I mean that's just crazy. And in reality, I don't think that Putin would do that even in Ukraine, because the whole purpose of him invading Ukraine was to use Ukraine, right? He invaded it for a reason. He wanted to take over, he wanted to reabsorb Ukraine back into Russia. And I don't know, man. I think that this is just posturing, just to be honest with y'all. I think this is just posturing. And do I think Putin is crazy enough to take it a step beyond posturing? I don't think so. Not at this point. Not at this point. Because the long-range missiles Ukraine used, they were not nuclear, right? There was no nuclear warheads. But I think he might respond with something that's not nuclear, that's equal to or worse than what they did, what Ukraine launched into Russia. Now, here's another thing that just baffles my fucking mind, is that Joe Biden is trying to get another $100 billion of our extortion money, right, to send over to Ukraine. He wants to give them another $100 billion before he's done. He's going to send as much money as possible over to Ukraine. And mind you, it's our fucking money. He wants to send another $100 billion over to fucking Ukraine. These motherfuckers, when did they, hold on, let me ask y'all a question. Put a 1 in the chat if somebody from the government called you and asked you if it was okay to use your money to send over to Ukraine. Did anybody get a phone call from our government? Did the Pentagon call you and say, do you mind if we spend $100 billion to give to Ukraine? Do you mind if we do that? Has anybody asked you that? Has anybody in government even considered asking y'all that? Now, put a 2 in the chat if no one called you and no one sent you a letter, no one emailed you and asked you, is it okay to spend your money on Ukraine? Did anybody? Put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if no one ever asked you where they can spend your money. And it's not just Ukraine, right? It's not just sending our money to Ukraine. Anytime they spend our money, every time they take our extortion dollars to spend on whatever the fuck they choose, do they ask you? Has anybody asked y'all for permission to send your money any goddamn where? I've never gotten a phone call. No one's ever asked me. You know what I'm saying? Can't Guard J was good. I see Sunshine put a 2 in the chat. Queen Shaquilla put a 2 in the chat. Marcy T, Queen Marcy T. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she put a 2. Yes, she did. So this is the funny shit about it, right? This is how entrenched their control is all over the people, that they feel like they can just, they ain't got to get our input on nothing before they make a decision. You know, they don't get our input. They don't give a fuck what we say. We vote for these people, right? Or y'all vote, not me. Y'all vote for these people to go into office. Y'all vote for them, and that gives them carte blanche to do whatever they want with your money, with your time, with your land, You know what I'm saying? With your freedoms, your rights. You put these people in place so that they can screw you over. And I'm not saying you guys, I'm talking about the people that vote, that believe in the power of voting, right? Well, I believe in the power of voting myself. Yeah. I believe in the power you give them when you vote. When you vote and then sit on your hands and expect them to do any goddamn thing for you. That's where the power comes in, right? Yeah. Your vote has power. Your vote has power that is then transferred to them, and that is power you no longer have over your own life or your money, right? Not all of it, of course, right? They let you have, they let you have 20 to 40% of your own money. It's fine. Wow. Y'all, it just dropped to 0 people watching me, huh? Okay. All good. But, and this is what our votes yield. Understand that. Our votes yield, what does it yield? It yields our participation in a war that ain't got nothing to do with us. In 3.8 miles. We have been funding this war. The war has gone on as long as it has because of our esteemed government. Now, no, it's not right. But how is it our responsibility? It's not. Is it sad? I mean, white on white crime is a horrible thing. But is it our responsibility to do any of that shit, right? Whose responsibility is it to make sure that their country does not get invaded by a foreign nation? It is the responsibility of that nation. It is the responsibility of that nation and its allies, as long as the allies are directly affected by it and they don't have to extort their own people to help, to assist. If your allies has to extort their constituents, right? Well, they're already extorting them, right? The money's already being taken from you. If they allocate your extortion dollars toward helping and assisting another country fight off a foreign invader, that's a problem. It's a problem. Because, let's face it, Russia invading you, now this is going to sound cold-blooded, right? This is going to sound cold. But Russia invading Ukraine does not affect us. There is no danger. If Russia invades Ukraine, there is no danger of Russia then invading the United States. And guess what? This is what we should be concerned about, right? If Russia invades Ukraine, this is what we should have did. We should say, you know what? These motherfuckers tripping. Good luck to you, Ukraine. Hopefully you guys will make it out there. You guys will be okay. And the NATO countries, right? The neighboring countries in Europe, they have a more vested interest to assist, right? Let them deal with it. Let the UK and the Poland and all these other fucking countries, let them deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can see those other NATO countries, those other European countries. Well, first of all, Ukraine is not part of NATO, right? Let's remember that. All right, it's not a NATO country. That's another thing, right? And that's another thing that Putin threatened to retaliate against if they made Ukraine a NATO country. But the bottom line is, Russia invading Ukraine is more dangerous and will affect Eastern Europe more than it would the United States. It would not affect us in the least. What, wheat? Okay, so we don't get no fucking wheat. Okay. All right, yeah. Oh, yeah, we get all our wheat We get wheat from goddamn Ukraine. Oh, look at all the wheat. Oh, the precious wheat. Man, fuck that wheat. That shit is horrible for you anyway. Good. Maybe we should be cut off from the wheat. No, we can grow wheat right here. If y'all want some wheat that bad, go grow some goddamn wheat and eat that bullshit. Eat that bullshit ass wheat. Well, you don't fucking need wheat. All right? All right? And this whole bullshit about manure. Oh, the manure, and man, get the fuck out of here. Don't we got cows? We make manure right here. What are we talking about? I'm sorry. Ukraine does not, we gain nothing from these motherfuckers at all. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Russia annexed goddamn Georgia back during the Obama administration. We didn't do jack shit about that. What happened? Did the world explode? No, Russia absorbed it, and it is what it is, man. A lot of Ukrainians think they're Russian anyway, right? Lomachenko. Think about that. Lomachenko is pro-Russian. You know, a lot of Ukrainians want to be a part of Russia. So the fuck what? What's the big fucking deal? Okay. Russia runs up in there, takes over Ukraine. What does that have to do with us? Huh? No one cares when this alleged black-on-black crime happens, right? No one's saying, yeah, let's send money to the Crips. Yeah, they're being demolished by the Bloods. Let's send them our money. Yeah. Let's send them some AR-15. No one gives a fuck, right? Right? When Pookie crosses over into 21st Street and goes into 20s territory, wearing all this red, and he gets killed, they don't give a fuck. They're not like, I mean, so why should we give a fuck when this mass white-on-white crime is occurring, right? Right? This is white-on-white crime, bottom line. Putin taking it upon himself to invade territory that does not belong to him and start killing motherfuckers that resist. That's a fucking crime, right? Ain't they saying that Putin is a war criminal, right? Isn't Geneva and them? They talking about, oh yeah, when this is over, yeah, we definitely going to put Putin on trial. It's white-on-white crime, right? Oh, but when white-on-white crime happens, oh, we're supposed to send aid, and come on, man, miss me with the bullshit. Y'all don't give a fuck about the Crips and the Bloods and all this that. Y'all don't give a fuck about how COINTELPRO started the game in the first place, right? No one wants to talk about how COINTELPRO, thanks to goddamn the government, right? How that actually started the gangs, the activities of the COINTELPRO agents, how that started it by pitting one black organization against the other. And what was birthed from that? We don't want to talk about that. Oh yeah, we don't give a hot fuck. No one cares when black gangs go against black gangs. No one gives a fuck. No one wants to send them aid. No one wants to drop supplies, airdrop supplies. Well, in Chicago, you know, they'll leave crates of weapons so they can kill each other. You know what? I take that back. I guess they do give a fuck. Except whatever. They want to, whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? We supposed to care about the white-on-white crime in Europe that's going on right now. We supposed to care about that. We supposed to care about the white-on-white crime going on between Israel and Iran. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. Arabs, they're white. Yeah, they're white. They just got a little. They got a little bit better tan because they live in that desert. But they white. Oh yeah. That's some more white-on-white crime. Right? See, y'all don't want me to go there though. Y'all don't want me to talk about that. Y'all harp so much on, not y'all, but y'all know who I'm talking about. People harp so much on black-on-black crime, and they justify police terrorism against black folks. Well, the black-on-black crime is worse. Oh, no one talks about, come on, man. Can we be real? Right? When a police terrorist kills a black person in cold blood, Oh, y'all want to bring up black on black crime. Okay, well, how about when y'all bring up sending our fucking money to fucking Europe to help fight against white on white crime? How about I don't give a fuck? Huh? How about that? How about I bring up the white on white crime in Europe? How about that? What was it? What was it? Y'all don't want to talk about that? Y'all don't want to talk about the white on white crime in Europe? The Russians versus the Ukrainians in the Middle East? The Israelis versus the goddamn Iranians and Hezbollah and y'all don't want to talk about that? We don't want to talk about the white on white crime? Y'all don't want to classify that as white on white crime? Is that we don't want to do that? Sunshine says we need to stay out of that. Right, exactly. We need to stay out of it. Marcy T, you start a fight, you finish the fight yourself. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Marcy T says, so Mr. Biden, you need to be delivered 6 big ones to your house because you said okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, man. Let me tell y'all something. No one wants to talk about the white on white crime that creates more devastation across the world than 4 square blocks worth of people going against each other. We don't want to talk about that. What was it? Yeah, but you know that because it's a war. Because it's a war, we don't want to look at it like a crime, right? When one country invades another person's territory, that's criminal. You're taking it upon yourself to come up in my place, my land, and try to take over? Yeah, that's criminal. Yeah. White on white crime. Except when it's sanctioned, we're not supposed to acknowledge that. It's sanctioned white on white crime. Yeah. Yeah. And it's what we're perpetuating that shit. Kengar J says, Snap, to your point about Georgia fighting Russia, there was also the Chechen wars. I mean, yeah, all that shit, right? There was Kosovo, all that shit, right? Going way back, going all the way back to Revolutionary War. Before that, right? Exclude the white on black crime, right? Because they don't want to talk about the white on black crime either. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to. How about the white on white crime between Hitler and the small hats? No one wants to point out that that's white on white crime. See, it's okay. White on white crime is okay because it's large scale and it results in the deaths of millions of people. No, we have to focus on the micro. We have to focus on the micro. We don't want to talk about all the death and devastation wrought all around the world at the hands of white folks that run shit. Yeah. What about the losers of those trillions of dollars right before 9/11? What happened to that? What criminal took all that money and made it disappear? And then, who orchestrated the Pentagon to be attacked by an airplane that penetrated through multiple walls, concrete steel reinforced walls, penetrate multiple walls that were concrete reinforced, that just so happened to be where they kept the data for those trillions of dollars. Where if you followed the money, it would take you to that section of the Pentagon that just so happened to get hit by an aeroplane that Saudi Arabians that went to pilot school weeks before, who didn't even know how to, the motherfucker was trash. But they took multiple jumbo jets and were able to do, let me stop. Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't want to talk about the white on white crime. We want to focus on the low level, disorganized black on black crime. That's what we want to focus on. Like I said, I'm not even going to talk about the white on everybody else crime that have been going back centuries and centuries. No one wants to talk about that though, because what they call that, conquering and raping and pillaging, right? Disenfranchising, right? Displacing, all that shit. That shit is held up as some honorable shit. Oh yeah, if it wasn't for the European, the world would not be as civilized as it is today. Yes, if it wasn't for the European going around raping and pillaging all over the place, buck breaking, castrating, tar and feathering. If it was hanging, whipping, setting a fire. If it wasn't for all that, we wouldn't have the civilization we have today. Yeah. Oh yeah. The phoenix wouldn't rise if we didn't set that motherfucker on fire, did we? Would it? The phoenix would have to fall for it to rise. So yeah, that's the justification. Yeah, let's destroy whole cultures. Let's destroy whole cultures. Let's rewrite history in our image, because we are the victors, right? The history is written by the victors. So let's do that. Let's destroy everything. Let's put the Native American, let's put the indigenous folks of this land they call America. Let's put them on arid land where they can't grow shit and give them fire water. Yeah. And let's write these treaties and then break the treaties and expect them to thank us for it. Yeah, let's do all that and say, oh yeah, the white man, the white man is the best leader in the world. Yeah, there's no greater leader. The white man is the greatest leader in the world. Yeah, the white man is the greatest leader. And guess what else? The white man is also the greatest leader of vast devastation and destruction in the fucking world. And now you got a white man in Russia threatening to nuke the West. Yeah, you got the white man in Russia threatening to nuke the West because another white man used our long-range missiles to strike Russia because the white man over here in the United States said it was okay. And a House and a Senate full of white folks decided that it's okay to give our weapons and our money to them. Yeah, are there black people in that Senate, in that House? Yeah, but excuse me, they would not need them. They would get the shit. They would still be able, if all the black folks in Congress and the Senate decided to vote no on sending these motherfuckers money and our weapons, they would still get it passed. Yes. And that's just the reality of it. Meanwhile, we're supposed to feel bad because we want to discuss racism in this country. We're supposed to feel bad about it because 10 or 20,000 black folks are killing each other. What? What? They reported that 1,000 people were dying a day in Russia, and that they would have to conscript 30,000 people a month from their own fucking country. But no one acknowledges the irony of this bullshit, right? And God knows what the numbers are in Ukraine. They be fucking lying about that shit. And Russia could be lying too. They both fucking lie. Do you see what y'all get it, right? These are white folks doing all this shit. These are white folks bombing and leveling every fucking thing. These are white, I mean, come on. It's just the reality. That's simply the fucking reality. But if we want to say, you know, Derek Chauvin, that motherfucker should get locked away for life or even put to death for putting his knee on that helpless, defenseless, and non-threatening black man's neck for 8 minutes. Oh, we get guilted. Oh, yeah, with the 13% of the population and the 40. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Huh? Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Out of here with that bullshit. Oh, the 13%, the 1350, 1350. If I hear that shit again, I'm gonna smack a motherfucker. Say it in my face. Bring up that 1350 shit again. In my fucking face. I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. And I'm gonna tell you, go look at how many motherfuckers are dying in Ukraine and Russia with that white on white crime. With that white on white crime you're ignoring. Go look at that. Go look at those numbers. 100% of the population committing 100% of the motherfucking crime, committing 100% of the motherfucking murders. Yeah, that's what's going on in Europe. 100%. Because guess what? The Ukrainians, they don't like niggas. No. But guess what? When niggas was trying to leaving their own fucking, hey, you know, we're gonna get out of mind. Yeah. They tried to make them fucking stay. Yeah. Oh, we keeping it real today. This is some real shit that we talking right now. Biowarfare, exactly. Marcus T, that's word. Yeah, democracy. Yeah. Word, real shit. These fuckers are lying, bro. They're liars. They're liars. The biggest problem, they want to convince you that the biggest problem we're facing in this country, right? All these motherfuckers that came over here, across that border, who allowed that to happen? That's a crime, right? Allowing them to come over here, undocumented, without going through a port of entry. Excuse me. Who allowed that to happen? That is a crime. You allow millions of criminals to flood into this country, and then you use our extortion dollars to feed them, to give them a prepaid Visa cards with thousands of dollars on it, free fucking plane vouchers. You're using our money to aid and abet fucking criminals. That's a fucking crime. Who allowed that to happen? Y'all ain't fooling me with that 1350 bullshit. Miss me with that. Anyway, yeah, I went somewhere I wasn't even expecting to go, but that's all good. It's all good. Y'all can get that real shit. Anyway, they ain't for shit. They for them goddamn selves. Anyway, thank y'all for coming through. Whew. It felt good to get that rant in. Anyway, thank y'all for coming through. I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow on my way back to South Carolina. I'll be out there for the whole rest of this week and then the whole next week through Thanksgiving, and I'll be back out here on Monday. But you know, I'm gonna holler at y'all between that. Y'all know I like to drop in and give my little 2 cents. But anyway, thank you guys for coming through. Sunshine, Marcy T, Can't Guard J, Queen Shaquilla, all the queens that came through. and all the kings, all the freedom lovers, freedom fighters, and freedom family. And most importantly, freedom marchers. I'm going to holla at y'all later. Much love, like, share, subscribe, and we're going to keep marching forward toward freedom.